Want to learn how to make a simple, inexpensive, and effective foot loop? Stick around and I'll show you how. So going back in time a little bit, I bought a rope walking setup, some gear, and it came with everything but the foot loop. And instead of buying one from the manufacturer, I was confident that I could make my own. And while doing this, I realized that I came across a pretty good design that I want to share with everyone. And it's extremely simple. And like I said, it's extraordinarily cheap. If you have any accessory cord lying around that's rated for climbing, you can make this. You only need a small amount, and this is really effective. So here's how it works. You have your boot, and then you have my foot loop design, which is the culmination of a double fisherman's bend right here. And then basically I made a loop. I made a loop like this, and I connected both ends using a double fisherman bend. And then on the ends here, I tied knots. On one end, I tied an easily identifiable figure of 8 on a bite. And then on the other side, I tied an also easily identifiable overhand knot on a bite. And the way this works is you take your foot loop and you put it under your boot right in the slot here created by your heel. And then when you look at the knots, you know that the overhand knot's loop, the bite from the overhand knot, goes inside the figure of 8 on a bite's bite. And so this loop goes into this loop basically. So you stick it in, and you would now clip in with whatever you are using for a device. This might be a little excessive as far as carabiner size, but let's just roll with it. So you have it now, and watch what happens when you put your full body weight into it. You see where this overhand knot is placed? It's designed to stop the movement of this loop once it reaches that point. So see? So now it can cinch down, except it won't cinch beyond that point. So you have the security of a cinching loop, but without the discomfort of the full cinch. Does that make sense? And you're just going to have to play around with knot positioning and find out what's good for you. I tested this several times before I got to this result. So you can see, I'll show you again. All you have to do is put it through the figure of 8's bite, like that, and then you clip in like that. Now, normally, this setup would be pretty painful, and unless you're wearing ski boots or snowboarding boots, it's not going to be something you're going to be able to tolerate. So that's why this knot, when it cinches down, it stops it from creating any discomfort. It just locks your foot right in there. It's so simple and it's so great. And it's easy to take off. Look at that. Very simple. And if you wanted to, and I have plans to do this, take some paracord and wrap it all around this here to create something that's more sturdy, something that's not going to get caught on anything. And or you could just simply use electrical tape right here. These 2 points right here, that would be enough. Get the tails here, one strand of the loop and then the other strand of the loop, and then just right here, and that would be all you would need. Very sleek. And you can use different knots if you want. I just thought this was a really easy way to identify which side goes where. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of adjustments, so make sure you don't cut anything until you're certain. So I just stood here for a few minutes brainstorming names, and I decided I'm going to call it the knot block foot loop system, because you have the knot, that blocks the movement here of the other part. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. Check out my other videos. I've got all kinds of interesting stuff, hitch how-tos and tying tutorials and for knots and anything you can imagine, climbing, technique, gear. I talk about all of it. So, thanks so much for watching. Bye.